Welcome everybody, Paranormal Q&A with Jack Ken and Carly Hall. Carly's having a little difficulty right now, so we're just going to be here until she gets that sorted out. But we are on, and just again, she's just having some technical difficulties, so I'm just waiting for her to connect in. Issues. So, anyways, as you can see, she's here. She's just waiting for her to get sorted out over there. But anyways, welcome everybody. We'll have it together tonight. I see we got Bob Burnell, Bob Maloney, Ruth Such, Carl Mitchell. Hello, everybody out there. Barry, how you doing? Cheryl Lynn, see you out there. It's good to have everybody on. We should have Carly shortly. Teresa Pittman, good to see you out there. So, and Steve White, I think I said that. And Steve says, "Good evening from Oak Island." So here's finally Carly's sorted out and on. Let's bring her in. There you are.
Hi.
What happened to you?
Same thing that happened with the StreamYard with the other guys from the other night.
Well, the phone wasn't working?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's
Some
not.
technical difficulties. I might
Well,
have
maybe
an
your
update
phone
or
won't work
something.
anymore.
Well, I think I have an update that probably needs to be updated before things can, because sometimes my phone kind of glitches out if I don't update it right away. So I must have an update out or something.
All right. Well, you're here. Well, you made it. You made it. You're here.
It's good to be here.
That's always a plus.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So Rick Perry. Hey, I see Rick Perry's out there. Holly.
Hi, guys.
So good to see everybody tonight. Our guest for tonight could not make it. Just some family issues going on. So, Elena, sorry that you couldn't make it with us tonight. We'll have you on another time.
Yeah.
So our guest for tonight again was Helena King, but some things came up and she just couldn't make it on tonight. So, but we hope everybody is doing okay out there. Everything's okay with everybody else. I really, I had some other things planned. I didn't really with Helena, so we're a little bit thrown for a little. But
That's
it's okay.
all right.
We always sort it out. As always, we're here to answer any questions you guys have. Any questions you have at all regarding anything paranormal related. That's what we're here for. We're here for you. Answer your questions about all things paranormal. We will be headed out to Western New York this weekend to help a friend with something they have going on in their home. So we're going to be doing that. Just trying to figure out what it is that's going on. So that'll be interesting. We're doing that. What else we got coming up? We got a lot of things coming up, actually.
Yeah, we do. We have, you know what? I have my
September
planner
starts
right
open
here. Hang
up.
on. If I can reach.
Here's your planner. I have my planner right here. It's
Oh
called.
no.
Yeah.
I'm falling. Okay, there we go.
It's not your night, Carly Hall.
It's not.
You're falling over.
I've had a busy week so far. It feels like it's been 2 weeks and it's only been 2 days. So I've had a lot going on.
Well, like I said, this weekend we'll be out in
All
Western New
good
York
things.
helping a friend.
Nothing bad.
Um,
All right, so let's see.
next weekend, it will be actually out in Pennsylvania.
Yes, we will.
Visiting some friends. No, nothing paranormal really. Although we're all into the paranormal, but we'll be out in down around Gettysburg again. Maybe visit with some friends down there. Ernie Atwell said he might even stop over to see us where we're going to be staying. We'll be at the Lookout House in Aspers, Pennsylvania, with our friends Steve and Pamela Berry. So we'll be out there talking to them. The weekend of the 18th, or I should say weekend of the 19th, Saturday 19th, we'll be doing an event at Selma Mansion down in Pennsylvania as well. That's going to be that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm excited. I've never been there before.
Yeah. I haven't either, so that'll be all new to me as well. So that's an event that's coming up. If you want to come out to that and hang out with us and see us, we'll be there. Then we don't have anything until the 3rd of October. We'll be at Haldeman Mansion.
Yeah.
Also down in Pennsylvania. Doing a lot of stuff in Pennsylvania this year, so it's all good.
Yeah. Do you want to do some
Holly, we love
guest?
Pam and Steve too, so they're very
Do
good
you want to
friends.
do some guest upcoming show guest shout outs?
Yeah. What
So
do
on
we
the
got
8th,
coming up?
on the 8th we have Ernie and Dave, awesome group, and then the 15th we have Howie and Kat.
Well, give last names because some people don't know who they are.
Howie
Ernie
Odell
Atwell.
and Ernie Atwell, and I'm horrible with last names. I'm sorry.
Oh my god, we were just on their show.
I know. Hang on, I'm having a blank. Seiler, right? David Seiler.
Who?
Hang on.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
Seiler. Yeah, David Seiler.
Yes, yeah, David.
Yeah.
I thought you said Tyler.
Oh no, Seiler. Um. So those guys are on the 8th. It's gonna be fun. It's
Oh, it is
anything
gonna be
like our
fun.
last show when we were on theirs. So that was hilarious.
Mm,
Then we have Howie Odell
that's
and
right. Yeah, he's gonna be.
Katrina Gagnon. I think that's how you spell her or pronounce her last name. Um, and yeah, so that's the upcoming shows for guest wise.
Yep. Yep. And we were just on Ernie and Dave's show there this Sunday.
Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, check it out because it's really funny.
It
And you
is.
guys get a secret little Carly story in there too. So
Yeah, Carly's behind the scenes story, and that'll
little
be
special little excerpt.
that's interesting in itself.
Oh boy,
It's interesting in itself.
I learned a valuable lesson that night. Let's just say that.
But we were on their show, Step Into the Paranormal.
Yes.
Their Paranormal Inc. And we had a great time. And remember, anytime you're on their show, anytime you're out with their Paranormal Inc., it's Christmas in a cup.
Always Christmas in a cup.
Always in a Christmas in a cup.
And if you watch the show, you'll understand why.
It's Christmas in a cup with Jack and Carly too.
Yes.
So if you watch that episode of their podcast there, then you'll know exactly what we're talking about. Anyway, so check that out. Check it out. Bob Burnell says, "So how about USS Salem, Jack and the 10th?" Yes, but we're not actually. I didn't really say that because we are not like officially there. so, so USS Salem on the October 10th. We're probably going to be there, yeah, but we're not guests at that. But some friends of ours are holding that, and they asked us to go, and we'll be going. We'll be going, and that's Carl Johnson and James Anito, and they asked us to come to their event. So we will be there. We're not officially there, but we'll be there unless something comes up. So, but right now we're planning on being there. That's why I didn't mention it. It's not officially on our schedule, except we'll be there as just guests
We'll be there.
time like a lot of other people. So
it's a good weekend. My birthday is the next day, so it'll be fun.
That's right. Happy birthday.
Nothing better to spend a birthday
Carly's
with
gonna
friends.
be 20.
I love it.
Yeah, Carly's gonna turn 20 on that thing. Yeah.
Dude. Shh. I'm
well,
supposed to be. Don't tell my secret. I'm just kidding, guys. I'll be 24. I am legal.
Well, we gotta always make you sound younger than you are with the ladies, so you're not 25 yet, so we can't.
Just call me on the phone. I sound like I'm 13.
So, yeah, she does. She sounds like she is 13.
I do. Sometimes I listen back to myself. Well, when we first started the show, this is funny. I really honestly couldn't believe why people actually thought that I was younger than I really am until I listened to myself talk. And then I was like, yeah, no wonder. I sound like a 16-year-old. So I went to work the next day and was like, you guys are right. I'm sorry. I do sound a lot younger than I am. They were like, see? It was funny.
Oh, we have a serious question out here, so I'm going to address.
Okay.
I want to address this. And this is from Ruth. Ruth Such. Um, Ruth says, I have a friend who wants me to investigate her house. I don't want to do it alone. I don't have a team. She says that whatever is going on is affecting her emotions, and her daughter says she saw a ghost. How would I go about this? Well, if you're all alone, Ruth, it's never good to investigate alone. I would find reach out to a team that you do know, um, that has a team that you can have them go with you and investigate with that team. Right. You also want to gather more information than just what you have. I mean, for somebody to tell you they think they have a ghost in their house and it's affecting their emotions, and her daughter saw a ghost, you need more information to go on than that. Um, so we have like a form that we have people fill out. It collects a lot of information. Some people seem to think it's intrusive, but in order for us to really help people with what's going on, we do have to ask some somewhat personal questions regarding what type of medications are they taking, because medications can affect people. Okay. Um, and that can tell you what type of, by knowing the medications they have, can tell you maybe what type of physical ailments they may have, which could also affect uh, things that are going on and what they're experiencing. So we ask all these questions. We have like a 13-page form we have people fill out. And one of the last things that we ask is, how would you want to be helped? How do you want us to help you? What are you expecting out of this investigation, of us coming in to help you? Um, and I've handed that out to some teams, some team, and they give it to whoever their prospective client is, and the client refuses to fill it out. That's too invasive. That's too this or that. And then the team come back. People come back and say, "Well, you asked too many." I said, "Well, you can modify it any way you want, but this is the purpose of our form, right? Is people who really want your help, and to really be able to help them, they will give you all this information, including anything like traumatic events in their life, anything that happened to them, because this is all relevant. We've found over the many years of this, what they fill out in that form is very relevant to why they're experiencing a haunting. Um, so you got to ask more. You got to find out more than just that. So what I'm saying is, you don't necessarily have to use our form or whatever, but get more information from the people. Ask them, well, what exactly are you experiencing? Your daughter says she saw a ghost. What did she see? When did that happen? What room did that happen in? What was going on at the time that happened? How did she react to that particular apparition when she saw it? Okay, all these things are relevant to what potentially could be going on, and these are why you got to ask these questions. But if you're as in it, I mean, there's people who go in and do these investigations by themselves. But if you've never done a client investigation, I suggest not doing it by yourself. Um, Ask another team who's done a lot of client investigations to go along. They will also help you with that part of it, with collecting more information um, from the people, so that you can better help them with their haunting, with what's going on in their haunting. And if they don't want to give you more information, my perspective, like when people don't send us the form back, it's like, well, then I can't help you. I can't do an investigation for you, because that's the only thing we ever ask them for. We don't ask them for money. We don't ask them for anything else. All I ask is that you fill out that form and give it back to us. And we keep it all confidential. It all stays between them and us. We don't share that information with anybody else outside the team. Um, so it's a fair trade. You want me to spend the hours and drive the time coming out to investigate your home for no cost, then I need this information to be able to properly help you. So that's what we do. So don't do this yourself. Try to find a team that can help you out, that's done uh, client type, residential type cases, that can assist you with it. Because if you go in there not really knowing what's going on, or exactly what you're trying to do, you can actually make things worse. So just be careful with that, Ruth. I hope that kind of helps you with what to do next. Again, I think the first thing you should do is try to reach out to a team that can help you, that's in your area, that can help you do this investigation. You not just want to hand it over to them. You want to want to be involved, since these are your friends, and you do want to be involved with trying to help them. Make sure that other team understands that you want to go along with them to help with this investigation, since you are an investigator yourself. You just don't have a team. So, and most teams will say, yeah, okay, that's not a problem. Um, and do that. So I hope that answers that question for you. And again, collect more information than just that from the people who are asking for your help. Here's one from Steve. I'll let you take this one, Carly. It's from Steve White.
Sure. Would love to get your thoughts on this. Can a residual haunting fade in time if it doesn't get the energy it needs to exist? I know most people are going to say no, and that energy will last forever. I'm not. I honestly.
Just give me your thoughts on it.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I want to say no, but it might. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think I can answer that question because
it
could take a while.
Let me give you some insight onto this. Potentially, if you were to deprive that residual energy of gathering any more energy, which is almost impossible, okay, it probably eventually would disappear. But the problem is, when you have a residual haunting, it's something that repeats itself over and over. It's trapped within the location itself. It's drawing on the energy of the location to repeat itself over and over and over. There's always going to be energy in that location. It may ebb and tide at times. So that residual haunting may occur more often at certain times and occur less at other times because of the amount of energy it has to draw on. But the energy it's drawing on it's trapped within the home, the building, the location itself. So it's drawing on all the energy from around it. Okay. And it's triggering under certain things. So if somebody goes in there, right, they're bringing in with them energy, right, and it can draw on your own energy, right, to make itself reoccur. So there's always energy in a place. So it'll almost never end. They've had places where they've even torn down the buildings, but the residual haunting keeps occurring. Okay, because
that makes sense.
Drawing on the energy from the land itself. Okay?
It's like an energetic footprint.
Yeah. So the problem is the realistic answer is yes, it could fade away with time if you could remove any energy from which it could draw upon, which is almost impossible.
Oh yeah, everything requires energy in the area.
Correct. So it's going to be almost impossible.
Right.
That doesn't mean it can't, under certain conditions, occur less frequently than at other times. So Steve, maybe that answers your question. I don't think it'll ever go away just because you can never remove all the energy from around it.
Right.
But it could lessen in time with a lack of energy, additional energy around it, or it may increase as energy around it increases, like an empty building. All right, it may reoccur at certain times, but if you move somebody in, they may start experiencing it more often, just because they're putting energy into the place, and there's more for it to draw upon. Okay, so I don't know if that answers your question or not. I mean, remember, the actual event itself is created from energy, which is,
and it can't be created or destroyed.
Right. So
it's only recycled.
Right.
So
right. It may transition to something else, which, like I said, it could become less frequent with less energy, but it'll never completely go away, or it may dull. Like footsteps on stairs. You may hear them really loud if somebody's living in the location, but if they leave, and you just go, say they're gone for 10 years, and you go and visit that space, you may hear footsteps, but they may not be as loud as originally were heard by the people that lived there. All right, so that's my thoughts on it, based on my own experience with working within the engineering field and talking about energies.
Thank you.
All right, and Holly did reach out. I'm going to post this up because Holly reached out. Ruth, I know several teams in your area. Write me a PM and I'll help you with a team in this area. Very thank you very much, Holly. That's what we're hoping for with this whole chat room, that we can reach to each other, out to each other, and help each other out. So there you go, Ruth. Holly is willing to assist you with getting a team, reaching out to a team. So there you go. Thank you, Holly, for offering to do that. Greatly appreciate it.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I'm just going to pull this banner down for now. I'm going to throw this one up. All right, I'm just messing with stuff, people. It's okay. So yeah, that's good. So we have that. And Michelle, my sister, had her thing. She goes, I believe it will last forever because they can draw energy. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Yeah, from anything, all living things. That's right. That's absolutely right. So that's my sister. See? Smart.
Howie says hi.
Smarter than her brother.
Yeah.
How you doing, Howie?
Hi,
Good to
Howie.
see you out there.
He tips his top hat.
Hey, don't forget, Howie will be down in Pennsylvania from the 10th to the 13th. So if you want to swing by, you know where we'll be. If in case you missed it, we'll be at the Lookout House. So if you want to catch up with us down there, let us know. We'll meet out for dinner or something.
Yeah.
It'll be good. It'll be good to see you. See some of our friends again. Peter Willis. He's got a long one.
It's a good one though. I read it.
It is. I'm going to post it up. This is long, but worth looking at. Peter Willis, do you believe in miracles, modern day and historic, etc.? Do you think remarkable events in the paranormal are indeed miracles? A miracle is something exceptional which shouldn't happen. I am thinking of all full body apparitions. Ghosts can form to us about that. Quite miraculous. True. Miracles linked to biblical times, of course, and Jesus, blah, 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 blah. So it comes down to the simple question. Do you believe in miracles? And yes, I do. I've seen a lot of miraculous things. Talking about just what you're talking about, Peter. When you think that, I've seen apparitions and I've seen shadow figures and stuff just feet away from me. It's very obvious what they are. Yes, I do believe in, but I've also seen very positive things happen that you never would expect. I mean, we experience miracles, I think, every day in some respects. Yeah, I believe in them. And
you and I are miracle children.
Yeah. My doctor, my mother's doctor, told her that me and my sisters were miracle children because she had half an ovary and had 3 kids, and they told her she'd never have any.
Yep.
So, and maybe you think about what I'm, we're doing these days and the type of work we're doing, and it's a miracle that I ended up coming back to the paranormal after what I experienced, and doing the work I'm doing now to help people. Same for Carly.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a miracle I'm even alive.
Yeah.
Really, honest to God, like when I was developing in the womb, my birth mother, she was an alcoholic, a drug addict. She said that she was physically abused, but I don't really believe that. I actually do believe that she attempted to abort the pregnancy and failed. I was born 3 pounds 3 pounds 11 ounces, and addicted. So it's insane, and I came out normal, kind of, almost, pretty close. So it's I think really honestly that in itself is a miracle. So would you define a miracle as divine intervention then? Like that is complete divine intervention to change the fate of reality in a sense of what should happen. Yeah, that is a miracle. So yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So yes, our answer is we both believe in miracles, and we've witnessed some things even.
Yes.
So Steve White has a question. While going to a residential investigation, has a family member in that home ever tried to stop the investigation from going forward? No, not once we've gotten there. Not once we've done everything. And again, this is, I think, another reason that goes along with having them fill out the form that we do. by them filling out that form and sending it back to us, usually fairly quickly, they really want our help. We have had people think about calling us to cancel because all of a sudden the activity in the home will almost become nothing. And that's typical of spirit, or if something negative is going on that they don't want us coming. So they'll try to pretend that nothing's happening. So these people will try to cancel. And usually they call us and say, well, I don't know if you should. I said, no, we're still coming anyway. Because even though you're not experiencing anything, doesn't mean there's still not paranormal activity there. There's not a spirit there. So we come anyway. But I've never had somebody try to stop us. Usually once we get to that point where we're there, they really want us there, so they're not going to try to stop us from going. And this is all preparation. It's all in the preparation of getting there, which can take weeks sometimes. Sometimes we can't just suddenly appear there in a day. A lot of these investigations at least take several days to set up. And this is why I tell people it's important to collect more information from the family and get a consensus from the entire family that they want you there. Because potentially, if you don't do that, you could run into what Steve White's talking about here. You could get there, and then all of a sudden somebody says, "I don't want you here. Get out of here. I don't want you. I don't want you investigating my house. I didn't agree to this." You got to make sure before you get to that point that the entire family is on the same page, right? That they want you there, even if they're hesitant. One of them is hesitant of it. They agree to help to have you come in because they want their family to get helped, or the other person's family to get helped. So hopefully that answers your question, Steve. Again, be very, you got to take a little extra steps when it comes to residential cases. Right? And that's why we've never had that happen, because everybody's always on the same page. Barry, I just popped this up there. Barry, I wonder if residual energy could occur in the vacuum of space. Anyone want to? Well, there is matter in space. There, even though we say it's a void, it's not actually a completely empty void. There is different particles within space. They're very spread way apart. But then again, you have astronauts in space.
Well, the thing, you also have, the concept of stars. I mean, the light that comes from stars are thousands and hundreds of years old, that when it finally reaches to Earth, that's residual.
Yeah.
There's that's not
dark matter.
Right.
Dark matter exists out there. There's all kinds of energies out there. You have black holes, right?
Oh, yeah,
they have
absolutely.
tons of energy. So even though we think of space as being just an empty vacuum, it's really not. There's a lot of energy out there. And like I said, could you have a haunting in space? Yeah, I don't know. Talk to some of the guys that are on the space station and stuff out there. Maybe they experience stuff they can't explain. Who knows? They wouldn't be talking about it though, because they're scientists and they're astronauts. They can't. People think they're crazy. I saw another astronaut floating around, and he really wasn't there. I could see through him. Because maybe that's even a possibility, because even though that person may not be dead or something, I do believe in various circumstances, especially something that's very important to us or very monumental to us, we leave a part of ourselves behind. Right? We leave a part of our soul behind, especially in maybe even a place like that, where that's a very huge thing to somebody who went through the astronaut program to finally make it into space and be at these locations. Maybe they do leave a residual part of themselves behind. Maybe they experience residual hauntings from all the different astronauts that have been up and through there. We don't know. Nobody ever asked them. It might be worth asking.
Yeah.
And that's here's my sister again saying it basically the same thing. Small particles of dust, yeah. There's all kinds of. You see, my sister knows. There's all kinds of energy out there. So yes, definitely. And here's an interesting one. I like doing investigations under hypnosis. That's one I've never tried. I will give you that, Danger. I don't know anybody who ever tried that. I'd like to hear more about that.
Yeah, actually. I'd actually like to know more about that.
I would actually like to hear about that. So if since you're watching out there and you're obviously listening, and they're on I believe they're watching on Periscope, as a matter of fact. let us know a little bit more about that. Explain that to us. I'd like to hear about that and what that does.
Yeah.
I know people
I
have I know people who have
hypnosis.
investigated under the influence, but
Yeah.
and that doesn't work out too well. But I'd like to hear about the hypnosis thing. I'm not really not joking about
I
that.
can imagine that actually really helps because I use the kind of like hypnosis apps to fall asleep sometimes if I have trouble,
Okay.
and I find that actually connects me with myself a lot
Yeah.
easier and a lot stronger. So that, and you also have less, interruptions from the outside because
True.
you're focusing on yourself and you're connecting with your subconscious.
And I think that's what
So
Danger's getting at there. Is what
yeah, I'm really
she's
interested in
talking
that.
about. It says it relaxes your mind, which actually I do meditation before I go on investigations. So similar, not quite hypnosis, but I'm going through relaxation technique. Yes, that does make sense. But hypnosis we see is different. So is it? I guess with the hypnosis thing, are you just emptying your mind, so to speak? I mean, hypnosis is used for smokers and all these kinds of different things. Um, I'd like to hear about how you're utilizing that and what hypnosis technique is. Somebody hypnotizing you, or are you doing it yourself through? Because there is ways to hypnotize yourself too. Um,
Yeah,
so I'd like to hear a little bit more about that. I think some of our listeners, watchers here would too, to hear more about what's involved with that. Like I said, I do meditation technique, which is just relaxing the mind, emptying it of everything, and leaving it a little bit more open for
exactly. Yeah.
communication. And I think that's what you're getting at with the whole hypnosis thing.
hmm And people use hypnosis for like past life regressions and stuff like that, and like
Yeah, and I think
memory
that's what
loss.
Peter Willis is getting at here when he says people have regressed to ghosts. I
Yeah,
started talking ghosts or like past
past
lives.
lives. Yeah,
Peter Willis, you've lived a different life before. He talks about. Peter also mentions like remote viewing would be the hypnosis.
right.
Some remote view locations. I think that's when you're trying to more project yourself to a location. I don't
Yeah,
think that's a hypnosis per se, but you're going into a trance and you're
separating yourself.
separating yourself from your body and you're actually going to another location. Um, but you're gonna, yeah, and maybe that's what you're talking about, Peter. Or maybe you're trying to refer to something else.
That's interesting.
And you
No,
can be more specific on that if you want to, Peter. That's just my trying to guess at what you're talking about there. Um,
Steve White has
and
a
yeah,
question too.
feel free to communicate all this. This is what we're here about, learning from each other. Steve Way. Well, okay. Here's this one, right?
Yeah,
While doing an investigation, have you ever had an unseen force throw something at you? Yes, I have, and it actually happened down at. I was down in Tennessee at the Old South Pittsburgh Hospital. Something threw something at me there. Very interesting to see it happen. I mean, I actually didn't feel threatened by it. I was a little surprised by it, but I didn't feel threatened. I was just trying to call out on the third floor, this supposed dark entity, and I was saying, well, if you're here, let me know. Show me, I hear you can do all these things. Just show me that you're here. Do something to show that your presence is here. And then all of a sudden, I had a piece of ceiling tile thrown at me. It didn't just fall from above; it was actually came at me.
and Renee caught it on the camera, didn't she?
Yes, Renee Dyke caught that on camera, and we had the REM pod down the hall going off at the same time. So we had a lot of different activity all happen at the same time. So yes, I have had that happen. I also had that happen in another location when Jason and Grant owned the one hotel up in New Hampshire. I forget the name of it now, but I was talking to a spirit in there from the night before. It gave us a lot of activity, so I went in and said, "Hey, thank you." The next morning, it's actually the next morning, saying thank you for communicating with me last night and letting us know you're here. And all of a sudden, from the other side of a bed, now nobody else was in the room. I was in there by myself. This little piece of paper, rolled up paper, comes. I watched it come up from the other side of the bed, the far bed, because there's two beds in the room, came out from the back side of the far end bed on the room, all the way landed in front of my feet. I watched it actually come up as if something threw it, came up, boom, landed right in front of my feet. And for a little tiny piece of paper, that's a lot of energy. So whoever it was said, "Yeah, get out of here, whatever."
Playing flag football with you.
Yeah, it was like a little, but it was a small piece of.
Yeah,
I heard it go pink, and I see it come flying through the air and land in front of my feet.
that's
It was
awesome.
hilarious. It's actually hilarious. So I've had that done too. Like, get out of here. I didn't want to communicate, and it was kind of frustrated the night before. Like, it didn't want people around. So I have had that happen.
You want activity? Take this.
Yeah, there you go. There's your activity.
There's your activity. Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
so
here's.
he
I just
yeah,
want to put this up because
he has one up above
breathing
too.
relaxation. Yep. Okay, that's what I meant to hit. It talks about just remove external input and just so it's almost
It's like
uh,
meditation.
like a deprivation,
Yeah.
sensory deprivation. Ah, okay, that's the type of technique they're using, right? So yes, you remove all that type of external input. It's you're doing like a sensory deprivation thing, and clearing your mind, relaxing, and
Mhm.
yeah, I can see where that would really open you up
It's
to.
like the blank canvas concept, like with you. Yeah.
Yeah. I focus on a blank sheet of paper, and just nothing. Give them a way to send through a message, or post an image, something like that. Yes, I could definitely see where that type of technique works. And he's talking about, you ever drive somewhere and not think about how you get there. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I sometimes, maybe I'm doing it, I didn't really realize, I'm thinking it as a meditation technique, but yes, I actually do that at times. I just drive to the location. I really don't think much about anything as on the way there, in order to, again, clear my mind. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It's a great technique to use, and
Yeah.
it does work. It really does help open you up more to any potential communication with spirit, and even just the energies of the location. And Holly was talking about, she's talking Peter Willis. It's not hypnosis, kind of astro travel. Open my mind and I travel to the location. Yes, Holly,
Mhm.
that's we know what you're talking about there. Bob Burnell says think tank. I think that's what we have here tonight. We have a think tank here tonight. But I know what she's talking. He's talking about the deprivation thing.
Yeah.
But I think we have a good think tank going on here tonight with all these ideas and you know sharing of information and thoughts and ideas. And this is what we're all about. I'm loving it here tonight. This is a great interaction tonight.
It
Uh,
is.
and Peter Willis talks about did remote viewing diploma, but I was largely the history and theory, not so much the do. Huh? I was mentioning grid points. Okay, very interesting. See, we have some very fascinating and interesting individuals here that have great insights into various types of things. So I'm glad you're sharing this, Peter. This is great information, and also you too, Danger out there. It's I'm glad you're sharing all this information with everybody. It's great to know. Oh, and Barry just says, also wearing a Wildwood Sanitarium t-shirt right now. Yes, I'm wearing my Wildwood Sanitarium t-shirt today.
That's
Um,
awesome.
yeah, just because we had been there, a month ago, helping out with the fundraiser. So I felt like wearing this one tonight. Just show my solidarity for Wildwood Sanitarium.
I'm wearing my MadCon one.
So you go to Matt one. We have good paranormal solidarity everywhere.
We do.
Uh, I wear mine outdoors, Pilates class. That's cool. Yeah, we like to share the fact that we go to all these different places from time to time, try to help out with different things, and it's a cool T-shirt too. So I like their T-shirt. This is a new one they designed this year, as a matter of fact. And my sister
That's
said she
awesome.
tried sensory deprivation tank once, but it was just really bored. And glad when it was finished. All right, well, it's not definitely for everybody. Remember, the mind is greater than the vessel that it contains. Good point there, Danger. Yes, very good point. This is true. This is why I do believe, we carry on after death, because it's our minds. It's who we are. It's who we really are, you know? And just asking, Bonnie asked, how long you were in the tank? She asked that to my sister. No, my sister, she's probably in there about 5 minutes. I'm bored to death. I'm leaving. Just kidding. Barry March says, MadCon. Yep. Yeah. Oh, here's another one from Steve. Well, using trigger objects, what was your best experience while doing this? Oh, excuse me. I didn't expect that one. I would have to say my best experience using any kind, like some type of trigger object, was using music as a trigger object. And we used that in Salem, New York courthouse and prison. And in the prison section, it worked really well. We had some triggers on different types of music, which makes sense. You know, so it depended on the time frame and stuff like that. And this one spirit was from the late 1990s, and I guess and hung himself there. But that time frame music, we had some good interaction from that individual there with it. So interesting. Yeah, that's, I've always had best stuff. You like, Carly?
Oh gosh, you're getting me to yawn. Please don't. We're gonna go back and
Everybody
forth.
else yawning.
We're gonna go back and forth.
Well, that's about best I've had with is with music as a trigger object. I mean, there's different things you can use. There's all kinds of stuff you can use. You just got to know the location but I think music gets a really good interaction because everybody likes music. I can't think of a person who doesn't like music from any time frame, right? So I think that can get the most emotional impact, especially even from a spirit that is interactive, it's intelligent,
Absolutely.
because it would have meaning to them.
I really believe that the type of music that people listen to and the type that they prefer really gives a good, kind of peek into who they really are as a person. People can really relate, even on a spiritual level, they can relate to it.
Right.
So, people use it for everything. Yeah.
Yeah. And Danger, you can find us on Facebook. My Facebook page is, of course, facebook.com/JackNY45. It's JackNY45. Or just look up Jack Kenna. You can find me on there. I also have my website, jackkenna.org. It's jackkenna.org. Carly is on Facebook as well. You can look up as Carly Hall, find her there as well. She doesn't have her own website yet, but we are both also on spiritsofnewengland.org. That's our main paranormal team, spiritsofnewengland.org. But check us out there. Any events we got coming up, you'll be able to find on there. But yeah, most of the stuff we post and everything else is Facebook, Twitter. But you'll find us on Facebook. Just look up Jack Kenna, and it's JackNY45. I have another page there, but as well. But look up the JackNY45 one, Danger. You'll find us there. All kinds of good information, all kinds of stuff, and our show is also broadcast from there as well. We broadcast. Absolutely. Yeah, we broadcast on Periscope, YouTube, and Facebook Live.
And our YouTube is Paranormal Q&A with Jack and Carly.
Yes, Jack Kenna and Carly Hall. Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and Carly Hall. So you can find us there too.
I would comment the links, but I can't comment the links. So.
Yep. But they can just search us.
Yeah, they can.
And remember, you can also be sure to subscribe to our page there on YouTube, Paranormal Q&A with Jack Kenna and Carly Hall. Even if you watch us on Facebook, if you can subscribe to our page there, that just helps put us out there more for more people to find us, and we appreciate that.
Oh, Peter Willis has a good question.
Peter has a lot of good questions.
Can I answer this one?
Is this the one you're talking about?
No, below. But that's a good comment too.
Okay. Oh, that was a comment. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here, I'll post it up. Then I'll get back to a couple of the other ones that are above there.
So, do you have a strong draw to another culture or country? It's US for me, though I'm in the UK. They say these strong draws can link to past lives. Yes, absolutely. Mine would be the UK, actually, or in Scotland. Um, I definitely feel like I can really connect over there, and I feel like that's where is a weird sense of where I feel like I really belong. But and I've always wanted to travel there too. But yeah, for me, that's what it is. I don't know about what about you, Jack?
Um, I want to go see Ireland, but that's because my family's from there, and Poland, and Poland. I like to see
Well,
Poland.
do you feel like you're drawn there for like a weird reason
No,
that you can't explain?
no, no, no. I've never had
Mine,
that. I've never had that. No.
mine's the old countryside of the UK or like Scotland, like the hills and the stone walls and the cottages, and I think I talked to you about that before.
Yeah.
Um, it's just a weird connection, weird, very weird,
Well,
and it's
your
awesome.
family was from there originally, right?
Actually, that is true. That is true.
Right. You found that through your ancestry DNA.
Yeah, not Scotland, but UK. So yes,
No, I never really can't say. I have I have a strong draw towards Genghis Khan. Yeah,
Genghis Khan. Yeah, this is how you pronounce it.
that is how you
That's
pronounce
something I learned.
it. Yes, he's my
Yeah.
ancestor. Yeah, one
So
of
it's like
many
what, one third
people's
of the
ancestor.
population or
Yeah, it's
something?
like 1/3. Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah.
we do have that. We do have that DNA in our family. Yeah, yeah, from that part of Asia.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say it's from him because 1/3 of the population. He got around.
You have a strong draw to everywhere.
I was maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I have a strong draw to my own country. I guess I don't know. Home. I have a strong draw to home. I guess I don't know. Ba, 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 ba. I'm trying to look up people here. Something from Bob that talks about we're on investigation this past week and used 1750 era piano music. Oh, oh, the Fairbanks house. Yes, yeah. You say Oliver Fairbank. I assume that's the one in Dedham, Massachusetts. There, Bob. Is that what you're talking about? Or
That was where that would,
The Oliver House over
yeah,
at
the Oliver House.
yeah, because there's a Fairbanks house in Dedham, Mass, and then there's the Oliver House over in where's that again? It's in Massachusetts as well.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
where Ellen heard
yes, yeah,
was the Oliver House.
yes.
Yes.
And Holly talks about she didn't old. I use music from time period, bottle of whiskey and a cigar. Yep, that would work great in an old gentleman's club. Definitely,
Yeah, absolutely.
that's what they did back then. Um, we did that one. I'm just going down the list here. Oh, here's one from Steve. Have you guys ever talked to a child that said he or she had a spirit friend while doing residential investigation? Um, Not that they ever said they had a friend. We had I had one case, and if Ellen McNeil's out there listening tonight, I don't think she is. Um, we had a case in Massachusetts where the little girl, she was like 4 years old, kept saying kept seeing this ugly little green boy in her closet, and he
Oh
would talk
yeah.
to her. And that's a case I wrote about in one of my books. Um, and actually that story is it's called Frogs in the Closet because
It's a good one.
yeah, we actually captured an EVP. Two of our team members were joking during the investigation that we had heard where there was a witch, one who was a witch that was in that lived in that place at one time, and she cast a spell on her husband who committed suicide. Blah 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 blah. So, anyways, one or two of our team members got joking about the witch and the little green boy that the girl would see. And one of our investigators, I know, I get it. The witch turned the boy into a frog, and he's frog in the and we caught this EVP. You hear this little boy's voice saying, "There's no frogs in here."
That's
That's actually
awesome.
true. That's actually that we actually have that EVP. So, but never were they said they had um, a friend. We know we had parents that said their kids were seeing, their son, daughter, whatever was seeing spirits. And they were a little bit younger, like 7 or 8 years old. There was, um, and actually, this is talked about on Haunted Case Files, one of the shows, I think from season one, where we talked about um, oh my god, the house in uh, oh my god, in Revere in Winthrop, Massachusetts. It's an old historical home there. Oh my god, my mind just name it just escapes me. Anyways, one of the caretakers for this historical home had a daughter who would talk uh, to the spirit of an old ship captain every night, and she would tell her mother about it. And this individual is still alive. The girl is still alive, although her mother remembers her telling her these stories, and she remembers hearing her daughter talking to somebody in her room a few nights. The little girl, well, who's an adult now, she's in her 30s or something now. She doesn't remember any of it.
Yeah,
She doesn't remember any of that happening at all. So
that's actually really common.
there was that, but they when we investigated that house for the historical society, that caretaker wasn't there anymore. But it was a story that was passed on to us from one of the heads, I think it was the president of the historical association, who knew those people and remembered her hearing that story from the caretaker.
Hmm.
And I'm just going to put this. Peter put this up there. Um, He's done work trying to connect to the Queen Mary, to Queen Mary, Queen of Scots. Go to VP includes she was imprisoned, yeah, in home city, England, 14 years. I have been in her prison site. That's very cool. Yeah, yeah. Peter, you got a lot of cool stuff over there. Hey, you guys got a lot of history over there, and it's
Hmm.
beginnings of history over there, right? I mean, you're talking England, you're talking Europe, you're talking where all of our history in the States, you know, because of all you people over there is why we have, we're over here in the States now, right? I mean, so you guys got all that ancient history, which is really cool. And we have some ancient history here too, if you go back far enough with the Native Americans and all that. Um, but yours is a little bit different than ours.
It's a
So
lot of
it's all
elemental
interesting.
spiritual energy.
Yes, 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 yes.
It's
So, but
very beautiful. I like it.
right, right. Yeah, it is. I'd like to get over there. Well, we've got our friend Rick McCollum who's asked us, come along with him sometime when he goes to Scotland. That won't be for another year
Yeah,
because we can't travel anywhere right now. So,
that's true.
yeah, yeah. Nobody letting us in and nobody letting us out. So we can't
And
can't leave the country and they can't come here either.
Bob said Oliver House in Middleborough. That's where it
Oh,
is.
Oliver. Yeah, the Oliver House. Yeah,
Yes,
Oliver Fairbanks.
autocorrect.
Yep, 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 yep. Yeah. Bob Burnell talks about the Houghton Mansion. Was there many times. Of course, you can't investigate it anymore right now. Um, it got sold off. It's actually held by a preservation society now who's trying to do repairs on it and stuff. And they were going to stop doing investigations there anyway because they were having problems with the roof and it really kind of wasn't safe anymore. And so the Mason Society that owned it actually sold it off to a preservation society that was created, and that preservation society now owns it and runs it. But from my understanding, no paranormal investigations there right now. But it is a very cool place and a very active place. Had been there several times. Matter of fact, the one photo in our background is from uh, the Houghton Mansion. If I
It's a very
do
good photo.
this,
Yeah,
yeah,
I like that photo.
or I do
You
this,
took that yourself, right?
do this. Oh, that's not going to work. Yes, I did take. I went through the Houghton Mansion one day for my book, and they allowed me to come in and take a bunch of photos. And that image in the background is Mr. Witter's room. Mr. Witter's room. Um, and I set up the chair like that. I took the photo, and it kind of speaks to, because he committed suicide. It kind of speaks to his loneliness, I think, and
Yeah.
his mindset when he actually did that after the car accident. Um, so yeah, yeah. But I've got a bunch of other photos that I took all black and white from there. I should put them together in a little collage here at some point. Uh,
The Barry had a question that I think got skipped over.
right. And Vicky says, "Hi, Jack and Carly." Hi, Vicky.
Hi,
You said who did?
Barry Martz.
Barry.
It's above Steve
We tried
White's
modern
child
music. We
killer.
talked about that.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
I don't think we did. I think we talked about the 1700s one.
Have you tried modern music as a trigger object for a potential spirit living back? Well, I've tried different music. I don't seem to get much reaction out of that, out of using newer music in those locations. I don't know if they just don't get it, don't understand it, don't like it. I don't know. Um, Not that if they're intelligent spirits, they probably haven't heard it anyway, because people move through these locations. They play music at times, and so they must have heard the newer music too. But I've never had reactions to it. I have tried it, Barry, but I've never had any known reactions to it. Let's put it that way. And if you have, let me know. But I have tried it and didn't have much luck with it.
Actually, that I have experience personally with modern music.
Yeah,
My dad actually really connected to John Denver. So whenever I would want to talk to him,
yeah.
I'd just play some John Denver and he would come over.
Oh, cool. Well, that's your dad, though. He would have grown up with that type of music.
Yeah, but it's kind of like in the same, you know, it's more modern music. They can relate to it and within 100 years, I guess. So
Yeah, yeah. But your dad at his age would have grown up with John Denver music,
yeah,
probably.
that's right. Yeah,
Yeah. So it would be very recognizable to him.
yeah.
And it's, kind of, so I guess what Barry was saying, has you ever, like, for somebody in the 1800s played, 2000 era music and had a reaction to it? I never have. I've never had a reaction to it. I've tried more modern music, but not had a reaction to it.
They probably would look at like today's rap or something and been like, "What the heck?"
I say, I can't understand what you're saying. It's gibberish. What
I
you're
wonder what.
speaking gibberish?
So this is an honest to God question. I wonder what the Romans would think about our music today because their music back then was more poetry
Mm,
and prose
mm.
in terms of like expressing themselves musically. I wonder what they would think about, and it was very instrumental as well. But I wonder what they would think about our music, how it's transformed. That would be very interesting to see how, like, if they ever had any activity over there with that type of stuff, what they would react to in terms of that.
Well,
So
maybe here's something that would be take a little bit to do, but you could, like, take a modern song, translate that
to Latin,
to Latin, the words anyway, and then play the music with the Latin words and see if there's
we could
reaction.
use like church songs that
You
are
could do
in
something like
Latin.
that, yeah, or
Yeah,
even just modern music with using Latin. It's a thought. No, it's
yeah.
just a thought.
Just a curious thought
And
that just
Peters
popped up.
asks if you can do a Scottish accent, Carly.
I'm not gonna try. Not on here. I will try off camera, off live first, but I don't want to try and embarrass myself if I can't. I don't think I really can. Um, but we'll never know. I don't want to really try it right now.
I just threw
I
this up
don't
to
know.
see. Wait.
Not
Not
gonna
going
name
to
the
name
show.
the show, but has an army of.
An
Uh,
army of.
and it has Amy and Adam. Oh, army. I thought it was. Never mind. My mind is at work, I guess.
Has an army of Adam
Has
ever tried to
Amy and
contact you
Adam ever
guys?
tried to contact you guys about residential cases in Massachusetts, because they're most definitely looking? No, they haven't. Their show people haven't, but I have been contacted by somebody else's show people to try to find residential cases, and I always try to help out when I can. Unfortunately for them, the residential cases we were involved with are solved. So I, I don't know what to tell them. It's like, yeah, well, if I get a new one, I can try to pass it along. But then the problem always is when you start doing that and you say, hey, you know, I could put you on, if you'd like, I can transfer your case over to these individuals, but they want to do it for their TV show, and a lot of people don't want to do that. I find they're like, no, 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 I don't want to. I was like, okay, all right, just letting you know. So I have been reached out by somebody else's show, and I've tried to help, but haven't had much success with it. There's other friends of mine who have reached out from the same show and have been able to help them with some things. And we try when we can. I mean, we're
Yeah.
one big happy family out here. If we can try to help people with stuff, we will. But that particular individuals, those two individuals have not. I know them. Um, but they have not had their people reach out to us for that. No. But if you have, you know what? It's okay. Yeah, if you can help them out and help the people. To me, it's more about can they really help the people. Um, uh, and if I think they can, I will suggest to the people, to go that route. But a lot of times, people don't want to have their stuff aired. So
Yeah.
at least not at that point. We've done some cases where people have come back and we've asked them, "Hey, we're doing this show. Would you like to tell your story? What happened?" And they've said yes. We always have to ask. Any of these shows you've seen us on, for like me doing haunted case files or haunting stuff like that, we have to ask these people if they're willing to tell their story, if they want to do it, and we leave it totally up to them. If they say no, then we don't do a show. If they say yes and they're content with doing it after talking to the producers and stuff, then we move forward with it. So always be aware of that. Any show that we've done, all the stuff we've done, these people have agreed to let us to tell their stories and let us tell their stories. Another thing is ever done without their permission. So just be aware of that. And Barry says, thanks for the answers. He's got one other thing. I wonder if spirits could be curious about hearing, listening to something that the spirits never. I think they probably can be, Barry. I think they might be. I've just never had much success with it personally. That doesn't mean somebody else wouldn't have success with it. I just personally haven't with that. Maybe I'm not approaching it the right way too. I mean, it's possible. I have all the answers. I got a few, but I don't have them all.
Wouldn't
Uh,
it be similar to using equipment that the spirits have never seen? Like, wouldn't it be like a similar response in a way? So if
eh,
you're going through a location that hasn't been investigated with like that one time we had at the Lookout House, where the guy it was not investigated before, and
right,
the guy had that reaction to the equipment that we were using. He was
right.
very
He was
confused.
actually that
He was
spirit
very
was confused
agitated.
by
He felt that we had,
we were
he
evil.
well, no, well, yeah, well, we kind of
Kind of
made him a little irritated. He was just frustrated.
did. He
He
thought it
was like,
was
"Why are you stepping on my territory?"
he kind of thought it
You
was
know.
wrong to be doing that type of stuff.
Yeah. So
That
it
was the
could be
indication
similar.
from that spirit. So yeah, he
Yeah.
was not happy with us going in there and trying to mess with his location. All we were trying to do was communicate with him. But we did say, all right, there was another spirit there, and he seemed to be trying to prevent that one from talking to us
Yeah,
because
the
he thought it was
female.
wrong. So we convinced him, let that individual talk, and if you do that, when that other individual is done talking, we will leave, and we did. And he was right there as we were leaving. You could feel the coldness and the kind of anxiety in the room, but I think he was happy
Mm.
when we left the building.
When you walk down a hallway and you feel like your back tingle, like you really have to rush to get where or like, so the best feeling would be like if you're downstairs and you have to go upstairs and you turn the light switch off and you have to run through the dark and you feel like something's coming after you in the dark and you have to run to the light as fast as possible. That was how it felt leaving that barn, because it felt like you could not get out of there quick enough.
Yeah,
And we weren't scared. Like, we didn't feel that way, but that was what was imprinted on us. Like, you cannot get out of here fast enough.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
please leave.
I just slammed the door
Um,
behind us when we went out.
yes.
I slammed the
Uh,
door. It's like, yeah, fine, we're gone. Bam.
the
You got what you wanted.
yeah. the coolest moment of that night, and I will say this forever, would be the EVP we got, where I had and the EVP was. I was so adamant on where that EVP was that it, and oh gosh, that was so cool. I wish that could happen every time. That would save so much time with evidence review.
True. Yeah, you can't do that all the time though.
We
But
had
that was
done
very
a
interesting that you
yeah.
did that night.
So I wonder if that was kind of channeling the spirit a little bit, like saying like this is I have an EVP here. Like I'm trying to talk to you, but this guy's not letting me. So here's an EVP
Yeah.
of my answer.
And Steve, yes, Michelle is an awesome individual, and yes, that's what she does. She always is offering help to other people. She does a lot of remote stuff, remote viewing type of stuff, and remote cleansing type of stuff. She's very very good at it. Um, Her and Amelia Pisano, and
Mhm.
they're very good at what they do, and they've helped us with cases as well. Um, Anytime I need her help, so I can always turn to her, and she's always willing to assist if I need it. So yeah, I just want to throw that out there. But people, it is our time. We start a little bit late, so I let us go a little bit over. It is 9:10 p.m. or 9:11 p.m. Believe it or not. Um, so that's our show for tonight. We appreciate, as always, all of you coming out and hanging out with us and being here. We love you all, and I hope you come back again. And Danger, yes, catch up with us. I saw that you're going to be looking us up on Facebook and all those other places. So we'll be looking forward to having you and seeing you there. But you can also every Tuesday night find us on Periscope as well. If and spread the word out there on Periscope too. If you use
Yeah.
Twitter a lot, spread the word out there for us that we're on here, and we're on there, we're on YouTube, and we're on Facebook Live. Again, thanks everybody. You all have a good night. We love you all, and we'll see you again next week, next Tuesday. Good night, everybody.
Night.